Good afternoon, comrades, respected leaders, and today's speaker, Dr. Yogandhar Yadav, and my good friends. Really, it is a very great opportunity for me to attend this workshop, and I got a good opportunity given by our General Secretary, Comrade Franco. Really, I am an agriculture graduate. I hail from a farming community only, not for any this thing. So still, as on date, we are doing agriculture in our village, and I am very happy to see our good speaker who came here, and regularly we are seeing from various channels. And coming to the important thing, which today the topic is what farmers need from banks. This is a very important topic because we all know in India more than 60% of the people are depending on agriculture, and it is a vast country to produce various crops. Particularly, this is the biggest country to produce in cereals and also milk and other various activities. I don't want to go detail on that. But the country is more than 195 million hectares they are producing in agriculture. Out of that, 125 million hectares are in rain-fed, and only 70 million hectares only depend on irrigation. A lot of problems is there for farmers for getting difficulties, particularly in rural areas. You take in seed procurement, you take in waterlogging, you take in floods, unseasonal rains, so many areas. If at all in this country anybody is suffering, means only one person is only the farmer. So for that farming community only, now people have started to finance from the 1951 onwards. So 1951 when started, the various cooperative societies, initially they have initiated to finance the farmers, but those days the money lenders and all, they have dominated. They used to give more than 66% of the amount they are going to give to the farmers only money lenders. Now once the banks become nationalized, now things have been totally changed. Now it has gone up to more than 70-72%. They are going to take lending from the national banks, and the remaining they are depending from various other sources. You may take lending, you may take other various NGOs and other agencies. But fortunately, after nationalization, now things have been totally changed. Now the government has implemented so many various schemes, and the farmers also they came forward to take loans. But unfortunately, in this country, more than 83% of the farmers are small and marginal farmers. And for getting a loan from small and marginal farmers, it is a very difficult in the banks. I am telling you, in the recently, the farming community really they are suffering a lot. Small loans really nowadays they are not giving, and particularly the large farmers and also the agri-business centers recently they have opened by corporates, and that corporates in the name of farmers they are taking a very huge amount, and really it is a shocking for all of us also. They are getting a rate of interest of it 7% or 8%, whereas the poor farmers, if they want to if they want to take a loan, agriculture, tractor or some other milk or cattle, they are going to charge more than 11 to 12%. There is a lot of differences there. Even I don't want to take much of time because our learned speaker are here. Only one example I want to tell you. When Nanocar, when he shifted from Calcutta to Gujarat, government has given more than 558 crores with 0.1% rate of interest with a 20 years repayment period. And one more thing, when Mittal, when he came and he want to start a refinery at Punjab, they have given 12,000 crores, 1,200 crores loan with a rate of interest of 0.1%. A poor farmers in this country where they are depending more on agriculture. Everybody we have to depend with the agriculture produce only, but we are not. They are not going to give the same rate of interest. Even the price, they are charging very higher rate of interest, and the people also they are going to suffer. As a national bank officer, what I feel that we all have to work out, because ours is a majority organization, and we also think over that we have to give timely help to the farmers, and adequate loan we have to give. And also our field officers also have to strengthen. More centers also we have to be open, and we have to educate the farmers. Then only this country is going to produce sufficient food production. Then only it is easy to the farmers. Nowadays, I am telling you, the farmer children also, after they are facing a lot of problems after seeing all difficulties, they are also now migrating from to urban centers. This is the one area where people are also suffering. So, when majority of the entire officers community we are sitting here, we have to think over and see, we have to strengthen to give more loans to our agriculture farmers. So with this few introduction, now I am requesting our guest speaker, please talk on this issue.
Friend, first of all, my apologies. I'm really sorry to keep you waiting. This is Delhi's traffic. We got stuck somewhere. For 20 minutes, we just couldn't. But I'm really sorry about this. Second, honestly, I'm not here to give lecture. I'm here just to learn from you. This happens to be a particularly bad day for Avik Saha and me to come here. Yesterday I came back from Kisan Yatra from Bihar and UP, and tomorrow is our major meeting of all the farmers' organizations from all over the country. And today is our day of preparing for that. So normally I shouldn't have come. But what drew me, in addition to Mr. Franco's charms and his commands, was a hope that I would get answers to some questions that I have been looking for answers. Now I know this is a workshop, I'm meant to give you some gyan, some lecture. Honestly, I have nothing to give you. I'll share some experience and ask you some questions. I really need help from you. The farmers of India need help from people like you. The existing system is such that it pits people like you against the farmers. It should not be the case. When ordinary citizens of India are upset with the state, they confront police. And they think that the police officer is my enemy, or the police constable is my enemy. When people think media is very unfair to us, they think that the journalist who's come to my press conference is my enemy. Now, journalist has very little role in setting the agenda of the media. Similarly, when I go and speak to farmers, they all believe that this Babu sitting in the bench is my enemy. They don't see the overall picture. They don't know that they are governed by policy. They don't understand that they get directives from above, that some of the directives are written, but many of the directives are oral, that you are following those commands. And an ordinary farmer or a farmer leader feels so harassed by the system. And because the system is nameless and faceless, so he comes and looks at this bank officer or bank employee and he thinks, okay, this is the system, and he tries to catch it. I see you as my friends, and this is why Avik Saha and I are here. For the last 2 years, we have been training. I think that's probably the best way to describe what we have done in the last 2 years. On the farmer's question, I'm not a farmer. He is. He used to be a very well-established, famous lawyer of real estate in Kolkata High Court. And some years ago, 4 years ago, he decided he wants to be a farmer. So I'm not a farmer, though I own some land. and farming happens on that land in my village, but I don't personally do it. He actually personally does farming, has done it for some years. For the last 2 years, we have been traveling among the farmers. And we have conducted many yatras. 2015, first time Mr. Modi tried to push the land acquisition ordinance. We went on a yatra from Punjab to Delhi, traveled on a tractor. That's when we realized that the country was facing a drought. In the month of October, we went for a yatra across drought-prone areas in the country, from Karnataka to Haryana. We drove straight for 5,000 kilometers, traveling from village to village only in the drought-affected areas. That's when we saw the situation of Bundelkhand. We did a yatra in Bundelkhand. And next year, Bundelkhand and Marathwada were the worst affected areas of drought. So we did a Padayatra from Bundelkhand to Marathwada to Bundelkhand. This year, in the beginning, we realized the situation in Tamil Nadu was very bad. So we did a 4-day yatra in Tamil Nadu. Maybe again went to And recently, we have been doing a series of Kisan Mukti Yatras. First one from Mandsaur to Delhi, via Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan. Then a South Indian Yatra, where we touched all the 5 states of South India, the big 5 states. And I'm just back, as I said, from Champaran to West UP Yatra, touching Uttarakhand as well. Wherever we go, wherever we speak to farmers, they talk about banks all the time. Banks are a reality in the life of the farmers. And it's no longer the issue that, they don't have bank accounts, they don't know what the bank is, etc. Now, there are banks, there are accounts, a lot of them have KCC, all kinds of things exist. Banks get mentioned everywhere. And there are 3 specific problems that people like us face that I wanted to place on the table. And then request Avik Saha to supplement with his experiences. And then we would seek your responses and your guidance, actually, more than responses. So there's no question of question-answer session. We are on the safe side. We have to think of solutions. The first problem we face is the following. There is drought, and there are Reserve Bank of India guidelines on natural calamities, which cover the drought as well. The same guidelines have been more or less copied by NABARD. So we have guidelines on how it should be tackled. On the face of it, the guidelines look quite okay to me. When I read the guidelines, they provide for most of the things I want. Occasionally I feel, no, the guidelines should mention this also, that also. But guidelines are not bad. But nothing happens on the ground. None of those guidelines I see being implemented anywhere. Guidelines say, please convert short term into medium term into long term, please don't take interest, but continue to provide fresh loans. All the things that I would want are there in the guidelines. Why do they not get implemented? The answer is not. The banks, and then we are in a Supreme Court case against the banks right now, not the banks, but the system, including the RBI. RBI is also being included in the party now. We said to the government, farmers are not getting loans, and recoveries are taking place even during drought. Although the guidelines clearly say no recoveries should take place. The government comes and says, but we have formulated the guidelines, now it is for banks to implement, what can we do? This is the stand of the government of India. We say, what about loan restructuring? The government says, yes, we've done loan restructuring. We know it has not been done. But this is the government comes and says, we have issued guidelines. Now it is for local banks to implement. They must have been implementing. Restructuring is happening. Everything is all right. Nothing to do. We go to the ground and we find that nothing is happening. We know the recoveries are taking place even during drought, while the guidelines say they should not. We know that restructuring of loans is not taking place, almost none. And we know that fresh loans are not being sanctioned. When someone has not returned, the loans have been deferred. Some bit of deferring takes place. Number one, the question is, how do we get the information from the system? RBI comes and says, so the Supreme Court asks the RBI, give us the data. RBI came 1 year ago and said, we are in the process of setting up some super smart online, what is it called? When you get minute-to-minute information. We have a portal which would give you everyday information. We are in the process of setting it up. It will take time. We said, fine, Baba, your portal will take time, but give us information 3 months old. They don't give that information. I'm sure the information is lying somewhere, and I'm sure someone sitting in this room knows where the information is. We do think that restructuring is not taking place. Where is that information? It's in the public domain. I'm not asking you for anything confidential. Whatever responsibilities you have as officers, employees, or confidentiality, I don't want you to breach it. But it's in the public domain. We want to get that information. We want to show it to the Supreme Court. Or at least we want to know who to ask through RBI. We have made several attempts so far. They managed to dodge every time. We want to know how exactly to get this information of how many loans have been restructured as a result of natural disaster. Not, they come and say, these many loans were restructured in calendar year this. That's not what we want. We want how many of them were restructured because of disaster or calamity, a drought or floods. We don't get that information. They say go to SLBC. We've done all kinds of things. We've said dozens of RTIs to SLBCs, all kinds of things we've done. So that's my first question. Why is it that those guidelines are not being implemented? What is that document or oral instruction which is being passed on as a result of which those guidelines are not being implemented? What can be done to get those implemented? What is that information in the system which would enable us to show that this is being violated? Mind you, it's a very important matter for us because at the moment the Supreme Court is hearing a contempt petition. Supreme Court had passed an order saying these guidelines should be implemented. Our guidelines have not been implemented. The only thing we need to demonstrate to the court is they have not been implemented. Then they would take RBI to task, and it's a contempt petition which is being heard right now. Second question is that on loan restructure, you just mentioned in your speech, you said that loans are given in the name of agriculture. Every time you go to the government, they say, yes, we give this much loan to agriculture and allied activities. Wait a minute, how much of it is actually to farmers? How much to agribusiness? Finance recently brought out data to say that in Maharashtra, the one place where the largest proportion of agriculture loans have gone is the city of Mumbai. That's where the highest proportion of agriculture loans have gone. So obviously it's not going to farmers, it's going somewhere else. How do we find that out? Because in the name of farmers, the government comes up with this data all the time. How do we find out what proportion of these loans are actually going to the farmers? And second, the government has all kinds of restructuring schemes for corporate house. They came with that 5 into 25 scheme, they came out with several schemes. And one thing that I've been requesting my friends, and this is my request to all of you, please help us in designing some such scheme for the farmers. The RBI may or may not accept it, doesn't matter. We should be able to have a scheme in our hand and say, please implement this. And if you can do 5 into 25 corporate houses, and I know what a lovely scheme that is. If I was a corporate, I would love to have a scheme of that kind. Why can't the farmers get that kind of a scheme? Can someone help us design such a scheme so that we can propose it in the parliament. We don't need to go into RBI. We'll just go to the parliament and say, please implement this. If you can do it for corporate houses, why not for farmers? But we need to design it in a way which follows banking norms. A related issue with that is the question of bank loan waivers. As you know, bank loan waivers are taking place. We can keep arguing about positives and negatives of it, and if you want, we can spend 5 minutes discussing it. We have taken a position after much thought and after looking at positives and negatives as well. We have taken a position that we want complete waiver of all loans of farmers. We can have a debate if you want, but I would much rather that we spend our time in something more constructive, which is how should that scheme be formulated in an intelligent way so that farmers who have actually paid their loans are not punished. What's happening in Uttar Pradesh is a farm loan waiver in Uttar Pradesh. And it has been designed in such a way that every farmer who paid his or her loan installment in the last few months looks like a fool. And they are saying, my God, why did I return the loans to the bank? I was a fool. Can we design the scheme in such a way that it does not punish those who have actually been diligent in doing their things with the bank? And it does not encourage wrong people taking advantage of that. The usual thing with the government of India is it says, those who are above this much acre of land will not get it, those above this much of loan will not get it. Those are not very intelligent policies. Can we find a more intelligent way of framing these policies? The final question that I have is this. Look at these large, big policy issues. When a farmer goes to a bank, a normal farmer, and maybe a normal farmer would mean someone who has 1 acre or less. That's the sort of situation we are in. For them, a bank officer is Bada Sahab. He has very little access to that Bada Sahab. He goes, usual story of banks is this, sir, for the last 6 months, I have gone to the bank 5 times. I could not meet the bank manager. I could not do this. I went and someone told me to go back and come after 10 days. I went again and there was chutti. I went again, something else was happening. Sir, for the last... So he actually, when a farmer goes to the bank, he does not go as a customer. Farmer goes as praja. Just the way they go to a MLA or MP or something. And they sign on things which they cannot read. They get insurance without even knowing that they are getting insured. This is the first insurance in the world where the insuree doesn't know that he's being insured. Money is taken away. Farmer gets money after selling his crop in his saving account, and without informing him, without consulting him, this money, a chunk of it is used to deduct his loan. To my mind, these are just plain illegal practices. Is it possible? Can it be done? Should it be done? So my question then is, can there not be a code, a written code about practices? How does a bank deal with farmers? Do's and don'ts about what should happen, what should not happen, so that it's a kind of standard operating procedure. Things that farmers can take advantage of, which are not such high-level policy things. A simple 10-point rule which is there on the front page of the front door of the bank. You are entitled to this you can do. And if you have a grievance, you can do that, etc. Has it been formulated? Can it be formulated? Can we all help in doing that? These are some of the questions I had. As I said, I have no yarn to share with you. I just want your help. And what I learned from you, all I can assure you is that what we learn from you will be widely disseminated and would actually help the farmers of this country. So instead of the usual farmers versus bank sort of confrontation, we can actually make the situation much better. That's all I wanted to say. And I would request my colleague Kavik Sahab to also share his